Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kwakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word and truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Isaiah coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from Excerpts of Hollywood, this factory of perverseness. An observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. Correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movie scenes or films to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use snippets as an example to bring out similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson Esau, the ultimate hypocrite. Okay. The image I have on display is from a graphic novel and film I watched recently. Of course, being in this truth, I reflected on this particular book and movie. The book was released in 2003. I'm not sure the appropriate date or accurate date. The movie itself was released on February 25th, 2020. The title of it, as you can see, is Superman, Red Sun. Directed by Sam Liu. The graphic novel was written by Mark Millar. Just to give you a quick synopsis, Superman Red Sun is a 3-issue prestige format comic book miniseries published by DC Comics that was released under their Elseworlds imprint in 2003. And if you don't know what the Elseworlds imprint is, it's just a alternate timeline showcasing a character or superhero in a different light or a different world, hence the term Elseworld. The author, Mark Millar, created the comic with the premise, what if Superman had been raised in the Soviet Union? And it received critical acclaim and was nominated for a 2004 Eisner Award for Best Limited Series. It's a comic book award they give to certain comic books and graphic novels. Now, this story mixes alternate versions of DC superheroes with alternate reality versions, like I was saying earlier. And it mixes it with real political figures such as Joseph Stalin and John F. Kennedy. And this particular series spans approximately between the years of 1953 to 2001, except for the futuristic epilogue, which I'm not familiar with because I don't own this particular graphic novel, but I do own the film. Now, in Red Sun, Superman's rocket ship lands on a Ukrainian collective farm rather than in Kansas. And instead of fighting for truth, justice, and the American way, Superman is described in Soviet radio broadcasts as a champion of the common worker who fights a never-ending battle for Stalin, socialism, and international expansion of the Warsaw Pact. And just to give you a quick trivia here, shows you the difference between actually buying and owning a DVD or Blu-ray versus streaming. When you have the ability to have the physical piece, you get what is called the commentary as well as the extras. And I just learned this from IMDb, but I didn't notice this while I was watching the film. But Wonder Woman is featured in this particular film, and her usual chest plate traditionally bears the eagle, which is, well, as we know, and election knows, that it's the Greco-Roman mythology representing the god King Zeus, aka Jupiter, but is really Esau's symbol. And in this particular story, she bears what is called a double-headed eagle, which is the symbol of Roman mythology, which eventually passes down years to become a Russian national symbol, which just shows you that Russia and America are in cahoots, and they are the same nation, all right, or the same tribe, I should say, leading back or descending to Esau, all right, or the so-called biblical Edomites, okay? Well, I was waiting to bring this video out, but I was allowing this Russian-Ukrainian conflict to brew and simmer a little bit more in the public mind. And just like the movie represents a crude example of Russian-Soviet Union propaganda, and I'm going to bring out that word propaganda later on, we're also witnessing it currently in news outlets around the world. And keep in mind as well, this graphic novel debuted in the modern age, and there's different ages in comic books. If you're familiar with comic books, there's like golden age, silver comic books. So this wasn't designed for kids. I had already completed college at this point. I wasn't even collecting comic books because I just recently started recollecting comic books about maybe like 5 years ago. But I want to bring out this definition of propaganda because I know a lot of people use this word, and I just want to give you an idea of what this definition is and what the true meaning of the word is. Propaganda is defined as information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Now, a lot of Russian readers, when they got a hold of this book or caught word of it, they mentioned that this was Russian propaganda or Russian phobia. And that's basically what it is, because America does, if not the same, but the same kind of mistreatment to its citizens as Russia supposedly does to its citizens. Okay, and we're seeing a lot of propaganda leading up with this conflict going on right now, with this whole Russian-Ukrainian conflict, like I was just mentioning. And the reason I also bring this out is because in this film, they showed you what is called the gulags. And now, I used to hear the word gulags being thrown around when it came to Russia or / Soviet Union. And I didn't know specifically what they were. But in this particular film, they show these forced labor camps set up initially by Vladimir Lenin. And it reached its peak during the Joseph Stalin rule from the 1930s to the early 1950s. And it just shows you further proof that we should do our best to separate ourselves from vain and hypocritical people the best we can while we serve out our prison sentence here in Babylon, because these wicked heathen that we're amongst are never going to understand the mistreatment, because they were designed to be the wicked. They were designed to be the overseers or the prison guards in this particular prison camp that we call America. All right, which is really Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures. Okay, but back to vain and hypocritical people, and this is why this title lesson is called Esau, the ultimate hypocrite. I want to bring out the book of Psalms, starting at the 26th chapter, starting at the 4th verse. Psalms 26 verse 4 reads, "I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers." Okay, so I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. Now, I had to go out and bring out the definition of vain. When you read the definition of vain, it's described and defined as having or showing an excessively high opinion of one's appearance, abilities, or worth. And that's what we're experiencing right now. Esau is very vain, and he has a high opinion of his standard of beauty, his particular abilities, specifically, Slakia, when it comes to his military strength and might, as well as his worth. Essentially, if he's made to be a slave, he's not worth anything, and he's going to know that when he gets in the kingdom. But back in this verse I was bringing out, Psalms 26 verse 4 says, "Neither will I go in with dissemblers." And when you look at the definition of dissemblers, it's talking about a hypocrite, because when you look up the definition of dissemblers, it's one who conceals his opinions or dispositions under a false appearance, a hypocrite. Okay, and I know when the New Living Translation had brought up that particular word, hypocrite, and that's why I'm bringing this out. Okay, because that's what Esau has done according to his own biblical history, as well as even the history that he teaches in his scholastic system. Okay, basically, he's demonized Russia over the years with the different films and propaganda, and like I said, just with this comic book and cartoons and so forth. And I just wanted to bring this out because I was just watching this particular film and being aware of it. I was just like, I got to bring this out. In fact, there's some more films and books I've been thinking about while I was preparing this lesson that I'm going to probably bring out for maybe even a part 2. But I'm just going to end it on this, because I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. Please excuse, I got this landscaper outside cutting with the lawnmower. But basically just showing that, just want to bring out the fact that the hypocrite, his ending is going to come very shortly, very fast. Okay, when you read the book of Job, chapter 20 verse 5, Job chapter 20 verse 5, it reads, "That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment." All right, because we're at the end of Esau's hypocrisy. Okay, he likes to point the finger and demean other people, demean other particular governments, even when his particular government does the same thing to his own people, and even to the chosen people of the Most High. Okay, but you gotta check this film out if you get a chance. I'm not sure where you can probably check it out. Maybe on Amazon Home Video if you have Amazon. Maybe if the Red Box, they may have it as well, and you'll see the hypocrisy that I was bringing out. Well, I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, who gives me the strength and spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.